Hey, welcome to Connecting Canva with UDL. My name is Danica, and in this session, we're going to be looking at the features of Canva and how we can use those to make our lessons more accessible. My name is Danica Botts. I am an OG Canva learning consultant, Canvassador, professional development facilitator, and instructional designer based in the Houston, Texas area. I've been a social studies teacher, 8th through 12th grade, K through 12 digital learning coach, instructional designer, and digital learning coordinator. So super excited to share with you one of my passions, and that is UDL. So you tell me really quickly how familiar you are with UDL. I have a poll. Yeah, give me a 1 if you've never heard of it, 2 if you kind of have a basic understanding of it, or 3 you consider yourself expert level. If you don't know what UDL, this is the session for you. If you know what UDL is, then this is the session for you. You are in the right place no matter what. We're going to be looking at some of the key features of UDL and how Canva can be used to support engagement, representation, action, and representation. So if you said you were completely unfamiliar, then let's level set with some basic goals of UDL, and that's right here. When we intentionally design our classroom environment to reduce barriers, then UDL says every learner can engage in rigorous, meaningful learning. So yeah, with that said, let's look at how we are designing classroom environments. So UDL is a framework that ensures all students can engage with the learning. So we'll look at that through the lens of these 3 pillars, these 3 guidelines. 1, engagement. How are we hooking students into the lesson? Are we bringing in their interest, piquing their curiosity? The second guideline is representation. What are the different ways that we're giving students the content, the output, the opportunities to engage with a lesson, either through images, videos, slide decks, presentation? That's the input, sorry. And then the output is how we get it back from students. What options are we giving them to express to us that they learned it? So I think Canva is just an amazing tool to support us in that work. And I'm going to show you some of my favorite ways. There's many ways, but yeah, let's hit some of the high points. So in terms of engagement, multiple means of engagement, I think Canva does an amazing job of just having a library of culturally responsive designs and elements so that your students can, number one, see themselves in the work. There's a template, there's a photo, there's a video, there's a graphic that you can put on a slide to say, hey, that's me. And then assessment tools from polls and quick checks and whiteboards. There's a handful of ways that Canva has to be able to know that your students are with you. And then AI where you need it. If you don't see something that's in the library, you can generate that. So let's pause and I'll jump in and show you this in action. So let's press escape on this presentation and jump into the platform. So here I have a presentation that I pulled out of the library on order of operations. And right away, as it starts to break down the BIMDOS acronym, I can catch my students just by coming here to elements and saying, thinking cap boy. Maybe I have a classroom full of boys and I really want to capture them being able to see themselves. So here's a kid putting on your thinking cap. I can remove this background. All right, and now he's engaged. He's on my slide just to say, hey, wake up. Here's a boy that looks just like you. I can do the same thing with teenagers. Love that. A diverse group of students that we could bring onto our slides to catch them. I said assessments next. So in this example, they're walking through the steps to solve a problem. I could go full screen and say, hey, we're going to use Canva Live to respond to this, start a new session. Students can scan my QR code or go to canva.live and enter the code, and they can be able to answer this way. Or If I escape, I can right click on any slide, these three dots here, and expand this to a whiteboard. And then as I share the link with students, give them the ability to annotate with me if I want to. Here's a pen, let's draw, or give a new blank slide and let students work it out. Infinite white space, gotta love that. I mentioned AI where you need it. That's not just here coming to elements and generating images. I mean, going back home to Canva and clicking on the AI tab and asking it to code for you a order of operations practice activity. Here's one that I've already generated, and it's walking students through this process. And my prompt just says, allow fifth grade students to practice order of operations, walk them through solving a problem. Look for the parentheses, multiplication and division, 2 times 6. We can use that in a design. Super easy to plug that into a website, a presentation, and a place for students to stop and practice while they're going through my presentation. So that's just a few of the tools that Canva has to really engage and hook your students from the very beginning. Going back to my presentation, if we're talking now about representation, the different ways that you can use Canva to teach the content. I mean, there's a template variety, which can be translated into different languages. And again, that AI is there to help you create custom resources. So let me show you that. Template variety. If I'm on the home page and coming directly to this education tab, what do you need? Brainstorming tools, presentations, make a video, infographics, worksheets. They're ready for you. I'm going to do an infographic. Let's say I like this one, nonfiction text structures. Okay, maybe your students need a one-pager to refer to, but just that easy, we can come to resize and do presentation. And I can resize this design into another format and kind of copy and move things around. Turning this first slide, nonfiction text structures. Maybe copy this, move it, paste it there. I can use this as my home page, expand that, group all of this, and then just work my way to reorganize things. But yeah, super easy to customize that. Go back and get some fun pictures, some fun colors. Super easy to shift it into whatever format you need it to be. Still on this topic of accessibility, this is super easy to then translate. If I come to my apps over here in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm going to look for the Translate app. Choose the very first one. Translate language to, I'm in Texas, so Spanish is big for us. And translate the pages, or just select text. I'm going to say everything, all 4 pages, and done, translate. Now I get an English slide and I get a Spanish slide. English side, and then I get a Spanish side. So yeah, more input to meet your students where they are. And so lastly, talking about that last guideline, that last principle of UDL is that we're giving students options to represent the content back to us. So just like you have diverse options for sharing it, they have options to represent it back to you. So outputs and differentiated complexity. So we can start with a template like we saw here. If I go back home, this education tab, what is it that I'm trying to do for students? Yeah, I want them to make a video. So I can come here to the left-hand side and scroll through the different options, apply all of those pages where I've given students a start, And then their only job is to come through and upload a video of themselves talking to the page. I've already set it up for them. We can put these inside of frames if we need to. Allow students to record themselves live. Now that I've set this up for students, I can share this as a template. Share. Anyone with the link can edit. Come down to see all and grab a template link so that students already have the text, kind of the background visuals, and all they're responsible for doing is dropping in their pictures or dropping in their videos. Create that template link and send it out. Or the student, give them more freedom. Don't give them anything, just a blank page, and give them that rubric and say, go on. So yeah, that's how you vary the complexity, how much you want to give them to start, what options you want them to have at the very beginning. So there you have it, a very brief introduction of how Canva can be used to just make your classrooms more inclusive. So, and that's my final thought. By creating more inclusive classrooms where students can access the curriculum, engage meaningfully with the content, and express their learning, that is how we let them do what's best for them. So thank you so much for participating with me today, following along. I hope to connect with you through email. I am most active also on LinkedIn, view my socials or YouTube channel, or here's a link to my personal website. Thanks for watching.